Right. Okay. So in the previous session, we discussed about the SQL. I mean, the virtual machine creation and virtual the whatever like the operating system. Okay. So installing the operating system, and then we also discussed about the what is that sign in sign out, how to connect to the server remotely through RDP. Okay. How to connect to the server remotely through RDP, how to log into the server, how to log off, log out from the server or sign out, log off, whatever it is, how to disconnect, difference between log off, sign out, disconnect, shut down, reboot. Okay. So when we have to log off from the server, when we have to disconnect from the server, so all these things, and we also discussed about how to install the .NET framework. Okay, how to install the .NET framework. So as there is a dependency of .NET framework for the SQL installation, so we also installed the .NET framework, right? So now in today's session, what we can do is we can discuss about the SQL Server installation. Okay, installing the SQL Server. So installing the SQL Server, how we will get the softwares and all, right? And then how we'll start the process. So all these things will be covered, guys. So let me start the VM. As I said, to install the SQL Server, we need one virtual machine, right? So we have already built that virtual machine. So what I'll do is like I'll open this Oracle VirtualBox with, excuse me, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so we'll open this Oracle VirtualBox with run as administrator. Fine. So, and we'll start the VM. Okay, currently the VM is in powered off state. So once the VM is ready, okay, we'll connect to this VM and then we'll start installing the SQL Server as we are ready. So from this point onwards, as I said, from this point onwards, our work will start. Whatever we discussed yesterday, okay, so everything till last class, everything will be managed by the Windows team only. Okay, creating the virtual machines, installing the .NET framework, everything will be managed by Windows team only. So once the dependencies are completed, okay, so they will update us. Once the dependencies are completed, they will update us. So generally, how the process will be tracked in the organization is there is a concept called ticketing system. Okay, there is a concept called ticketing system. So it's very simple. Like I'll give you a small example for that. Say, for example, if you have any queries, you are using multiple applications, right? In the meantime, let me start this VM. So to start the VM, what is the shortcut? Okay, what is the shortcut to start the VM, guys? How we can start the VM at least? How?
Double click.
Just double click, okay? Right. Fine, you can just double click on it or right click start option will be there or select. You can see start option on top. So you can use any of the options. Shortcut is double click, okay? Right. So how we can track? For example, we are like handling hundreds of servers, thousands of servers, and we will have multiple users. Okay. So how to track like where is the current, I mean, what is the current status of the installation? Who requested, when he requested, what kind of version he requested. So how to track all these things, guys? So in the organization, as I said, we will have a ticketing system for tracking purpose. For tracking and auditing purpose, we will have a ticketing system. So if anyone is having a requirement, okay, as I said yesterday, the business user, the business owner or the application owner will have a requirement. So he will raise a ticket. He will not directly go to the DBA team. He might be in another country. He might be in another state. He might be at another location. Okay. So he will not directly come to you and to your team and he will not tell. He will simply raise a ticket. Okay. So that ticket generally will come into our queue, DBA queue. So on the other hand, our roles and responsibilities, our daily tasks, okay, includes we have to check the tickets that are there in our queue. So once you open the queue, there is a tool called ticketing tool. That is either you can use, there are different types of ticketing tools in the market: ServiceNow, Jira, Remedy Force, okay, Lotus Notes, like that. Different ticketing tools are there, okay. So it depends upon the organization. Few organizations will use ServiceNow, few organizations will use, okay, Jira. So you will open the ticket. Customer will raise a ticket. Hey, please install SQL Server 2019 on so and so machine, or please install SQL Server 2022 on so and so machine. So customer will raise a ticket. That ticket will be created and it will be assigned to our group, DBA group. So any one of you like who are there in the shift, maybe if I just created the ticket now, okay, Indian time 7:17 AM. So by this time, someone will be there in the queue, right? I mean, from the support side, from the DBA team side, someone will be available, right? So he has to open, he has to keep monitoring the queue, what and all new tickets are there, new requests are there, new incidents are there. Okay, so he has to keep monitoring the queue, and maybe some ex DBA, he will check the queue and he will find out the ticket. Okay, so and so customer is asking the SQL Server installation. So he will assign the ticket on behalf of like the request. He will assign the ticket, okay, to him. Then he will start working on it. So for tracking purpose, it is very important. Like when you are like ordering the goods in the Amazon, Flipkart and all, right? You can see using order ID, you can check where it was exactly, what is the status in transit, or maybe it reaches the nearest location. Okay, what is the status of the product, where it was exactly, what is the ETA, estimated time of arrival. So everything we can check, because every time they will update the status. So in the same way, whatever request that you are working, okay, so you have to keep updating the status. So it's not like customer will come to you and he will ask you. No. Okay. Every time the customer, once he raises the ticket, he will just, okay, check the ticket, what is the status, and also this is how we will get the work. Okay. Users will simply raise a ticket, and the ticket, so maybe if it is installation of SQL Server, if it is an existing virtual machine, okay, that is fine. Otherwise, if it is a new virtual machine, that ticket first it will goes to Windows team. Windows team will complete all the prerequisites, like creating the VM, installing the operating system, installing the .NET framework, installing some securities like a virus, antivirus kind of thing. Okay, so they will have their own tools, right? They will install and they will give it to us. So the ticket will, from the Windows team to DBA team, it will route. Okay, or you will have a child tickets, we'll call it as a SC tasks. So in the ITL process, I'll tell you what is task, what is C task, what is SC task, what is change request, what is incident, okay, incident management, okay, change management. All these things will be covered. I'll take one session on that. That is also one important thing. So this is how the request will come. User will simply raise a ticket. That ticket will comes to the DBA queue. So DBA team has to work on the ticket. So no one will assign the tickets to you mostly. Mostly no one will assign. So it's a kind of a the one who is there in the shift. Okay, he has to assign the tickets. So it's kind of understanding between your teammates and you, and we have to keep taking the tickets, or else if no one is picking the ticket, then manager will come or lead will come, he will assign the tickets to you. Okay, so generally don't wait until manager or lead is going to assign. Better when you are in the shift, try to pull the tickets, okay, on your name, and then just change the status of the ticket that you are working on it, like work in progress. You can change it. I'll tell you, okay, in the service now and all how to do that one. Right. So this is how we'll get the request. Fine. Once we got the request, then what we have to do is like we have to connect to the Windows machine. Okay, on which server the user is asking us to install the SQL Server. So we have to log into that server. So main thing like you should know, in the ticket generally they will mention, they will add the build sheet. One thing, build sheet, yesterday we discussed, right? Build sheet means all the inputs, like what is the server name, which version it is, some settings kind of thing. Okay, so build sheet he will attach. If he is not attached, like if the user is not attached any build sheet kind of thing, then you can request the user. Okay, so because every time we cannot ping him and we cannot ask which version you want, what is the server name. So we cannot ask everything, right? So better if you have build sheet, that build sheet includes all these main details and all. So mainly in the ticket, you have to make sure which version of SQL Server they are asking us to install. People sometimes they will mention I need SQL 2019 or 2022 or 2025. Sometimes, okay, they don't mention any version. So in such scenarios, we'll always follow either current version, depends on the company, okay, current version or current version minus one. If the current version is 2025, the current version n minus 1 will be 2022, the previous version of the current version, okay, which is 2022. So like that it is going to be, but better take the confirmation from the user which version he needs, because sometimes application compatibilities will be there. As I said last time, not all applications will be compatible with the latest versions. So if their application is not compatible with the SQL Server 2025, again our time and efforts will be wasted, right? So before installing the SQL Server, just you can see who raised the ticket. In the ticket, it will be mentioned the requester. So you can just ping him. If he did not mention the version and all, you can ask him which version you need. Okay, you can ask him which version you need. So based on that, you can start working on the installation, guys. Okay, this is how we will get the request into our bin. So now I got the request. The customer is asking us to install SQL Server 2019 on so and so Windows machine. Okay. So now I am connecting to that particular Windows machine. Okay. So now I just connected to the Windows machine, guys. So now if I want to install SQL Server, okay, generally what we will do is like there are some prerequisites. You have to make sure enough free space is there or not. All these things you have to check. Okay. So yesterday we discussed the pre-checklist. Okay. So mainly like we have to check whether enough free space is there or not in the hard disk. In our case, it is C drive. So we have around 20 GB. We need minimum 4 GB free space. So that means we have enough free space, right? So we are good to install the SQL Server. And the second thing is your SQL Server software. So in the D drive, last time we attached Windows operating system software. I need SQL Server software. So in the organization, how we will copy the softwares, this is important, okay? Either softwares or scripts, okay, or the files that we are using regularly. So how we will copy the particular softwares and also in the organization, what we will do is we will use a concept called network path or shared path, okay? How to copy the softwares to the server, okay, or Windows server or machine, okay. So generally what we will use, guys, we will use network path or shared path. So any of these, both are same, only different names, that's it. Okay, so every server will have an access of a common shared path. Okay, every server, let me go back to this diagram, draw IO, start. So now you see here, these are like 5 servers, right? So if I want to copy any softwares, okay, to these 5 servers, so we will have a shared folder kind of thing, okay? Shared folder will have these, all these 5 servers will have access to shared folder, guys. So in the shared folder, generally we will have all our softwares or scripts that we are using regularly. So every server, okay, every server will have access to this shared folder. So who will give this access to this shared folder? Windows team has to give, okay. If it is a new server and all, the commonly used shared path, we have to request them, hey Windows team. So this is very important for us. We will copy the softwares using this shared path. So can you please kindly, okay, provide access to so and so server on so and so path. So they are going to provide the access to that particular path, guys. Okay. So we will have a concept called shared path. In the shared path, you will have all the softwares, you will have all the scripts that you are using regularly. So your shared path will be accessible from all the servers, guys. Okay, your shared path will be accessible from all the servers. So in the same way, every server will have a shared path. So it's we have to check with our colleagues. If we are new to the organization, we don't know, right? Right? So what we have to do is, so we have to check with the colleagues. Colleagues will maintain a list of shared path. Okay, so this shared path, can you please help me, what is the shared path? This is called KT. Actually they have to tell all these things in the KT, but very few people manage the KT properly with proper documentation and all. Most of the people, like 90-95% of the people, they will simply give one documentation, they will ask you to read it, and they will simply just talk 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Okay, this is our infrastructure, these are the servers, these are the application, this is the documentation, please go through it, if you have any queries come back to us. Most of the people will give KT like this only. It is not at all good. Very rare people you can see, like they will prepare a neat documentation with a screenshot, what kind of issues that we will get it, how to fix it, how to resolve it, if any new issues are there, any shared paths are there, how to get access, which team we have to contact. So all these things they will mention properly in the KT. So now it is okay that you can ask what are the available shared paths. When you are new to the project, you can ask what are the available shared paths that are able to access from all the servers. So you can ask and you can keep this information. Okay, so in this shared folder we will have softwares. So from this server you can open the shared path, from this server, this is called a shared path, means shared between all the servers. So from any server you can open this path if you have permissions. Okay, if the server is having permissions, then you can just copy the softwares. If you want to install SQL Server in this machine, you will log into this machine, you will open this path in this machine, and then you can directly copy paste, right click copy, right click paste. If you want to copy to this machine, you will log into this machine, you will open this shared path in this machine, and then you will just see the softwares, whatever you want to copy, you will just simply copy and paste it, guys. So that is how we'll manage the softwares, we'll copy the softwares in the organization. We cannot directly download the softwares. Okay, you cannot directly download the softwares to the server because server will not have internet connection. Clear? Server will not have internet connection due to security reasons. Internet will be blocked to the server. Otherwise, everyone can enter into the server. Very risky. Servers will be connected mutually, like interconnected will be there. That is called intranet. Internet, intranet. Internet means connected to the public outside network. That is called internet. Intranet means connected like each other, communicating. Like if I have 100 servers, I can these 100 servers can connect each other. Okay, that is called intranet. So servers will be generally connected through intranet, but there will be no internet to the servers due to security reasons. So you cannot directly download the softwares or scripts, or you cannot access any Google kind of thing in the server, guys. Okay. Fine. So now I need software. So if you have a shared path, how the shared path will be, I'll just give you a reference of the shared path. Okay. Generally, shared path will starts with a double backslash. Okay. Server name or IP address backslash something. I'm just giving you a reference. Softwares, SQL softwares, SQL 2019. So like this kind of path will be there, like this. Okay. Names might be different. Again, I'm saying names might be different. Okay, but the path is almost same. It look like this only, same as it is. Server name or IP address, softwares, these names might be different, depends upon the organization to organization. Okay, so you will get this kind of path from your colleague, and then go to the server where you want to install, open, run, copy paste that path, and then click OK. Automatically folder will open. Then you can copy paste the softwares, guys. Clear? Is it clear? Any questions, doubts? How to copy the softwares to the server?
It's clear, Sharma. So from server to any folder, we have to copy this.
Yeah, yes, yes. We will have generally temporary drives, okay, temporary storage to do all these things, okay. So to that particular drive, temporary storage, for example, D drive or E drive, temporary storage, okay, you can open the E drive, you can copy the softwares, okay, from that particular shared folder to the E drive of the server. Okay, clear? So now what I'll do is I did not set up any shared path, so I'll directly attach the software. Okay, so this option won't be there in the real time, guys. Okay, this option, because this will be controlled by the Windows team, right? We will have a control on this VirtualBox manager. So here what I'll do is I'll simply go to, yesterday I have attached the Windows software, right? So that you can see in the D drive. Now I'll replace, anyhow Windows installation is completed, OS installation is completed. So now I'll replace the OS with the SQL software. Okay, now I'll replace the OS with the SQL software. So select the Windows server, again click on the disk, select choose a disk file, go to the location where you downloaded the softwares or where you copied the softwares, and let's start with the 2019. Okay, double click on this and then 2019 will be attached here. Once it is attached here, where we can see in the server, guys, in which drive we can see, in which drive it will be attached, in one drive in the server. And anyone able to recollect the drive?
D drive.
Very good. Very good. D drive. Okay. So let's go to the server. Okay. Now you see, right? SSS. This is actually Windows operating system file. Just now you replace it, right? Just refresh it. Refresh it. Refresh it. See, now you can see SQL setup. Okay. So in this way, you can able to attach the softwares. Where in our practice, but in the organization, you cannot do like this. You have to use copy, paste from the shared path. So open the SQL setup file. So always, as I said, remember that you have to open the application files with the dash mode. With the dash mode, always you have to open the application files with the dash mode as a DBA. Dash mode. Yesterday we discussed, right? Any application, how you can
Admin.
open. Run as administrator. Okay. So here in the SQL setup file, you can see one application. See, all are, you can see the types of files. So in those types of files, you can see one file called application type. Okay. So this application type you have to open with run as administrator. This setup file you have to open with run as administrator. So it is very, very important, guys. Any application related files you have to open with run as administrator as a DBA. So one thing is like, in case if you don't have permissions, okay, then the run as administrator won't work. It will ask username and password. And sometimes elevated access, this is called elevated access. Opening any application with run as administrator, this is called technically elevated access. So if anyone mentioned please open this with elevated access, means run as administrator only. So you have to open this with run as administrator, and then you will get the particular, okay, what is that, setup file. Setup file will be open now, and then you can just follow the on-screen instructions to install the SQL server. So let's wait for a minute. So it will be open completely. So how many of you created the VMs, guys, so far? No one?
Today we'll create.
Okay. So till yesterday night, I have uploaded the videos. Just check it once. So I hope you got the access. You just check it, right. So it will be there in your Google Drive, left side shared with me. You can see one option there. You can see the folders. Okay, so like this it will open. So this is called installation center. Okay, what is this, guys? Installation center. When you open the setup file, this installation center will open. So this installation center will have a lot of things. Okay, it will have the documentation, hardware and software requirements, security documentation, system configuration checker, DMA. So it will also have different tools also. So we are going to install the SQL Server. So this discussion in today's class, we will limit to the SQL installation. Going forward, we will discuss other options also. So slowly, so on the first day, we cannot discuss all the options, right? So slowly we can discuss other options, like what and all other options will be there, like installation side. Okay, so for example, if it's a cluster installation, we will use these two options. If you are upgrading a SQL server, we will use this option. So slowly going forward, okay, during the discussion of the topic, will use all the options, guys. Okay, but installation center will have multiple options. So as per the topic, we will discuss. So this is called, left side, we'll call this as a phase, PAZE phase. Planning phase, installation phase, maintenance phase, tools, like that. This is called phase. Okay. So in the planning phase, you can see, okay, you can see all these things, the documentation and all. And installation phase, we can also see, okay. So the other options, installation options and all. Maintenance phase, you can see, like if you want to upgrade the edition, or if you want to repair the SQL server, okay, or you want to remove the node, some of the options are disabled. Why it is disabled? Because it is not supported. Okay, so that's why some of the options are disabled. So during that concept, I'll tell you how to enable and all. Okay, you can also see the tools option. Okay, so in case if you want to just use any discovery report and all, so you can also use the tools option. And resources option also you can see, in case any books online, tech center. Just if you have some time, just go through it, but no one will ask these kind of questions and all, what will be there. Okay, and advanced mode, from advanced configurations, like maybe slipstream installation, sysprep installation. So you can see different okay options in the advanced. And in the last page, options page, installation media directory. So you don't find any other options here. So I want to install SQL Server Gate. Let's go to the installation phase. Okay, so now remember, there are two types of installations: standalone installation, cluster installation. Okay, standalone means, you know the meaning of standalone building, right? What is the meaning of standalone building? A single building, right? A single building. Whereas if you go to community, group of buildings, right? In the community, you will have group of buildings. So if you are installing SQL Server only on one machine, a single instance, if you are installing on one machine, that is called standalone instance or installation. If you are installing SQL Server, the same SQL Server on multiple machines, on 01P, this is the server name 01P, this is the server name 02P. If you are installing SQL Server on multiple servers at a time, that is called a cluster installation. Cluster means group of objects. If you are installing SQL Server on multiple servers, Windows servers, that is cluster installation. If you are installing SQL Server on a single virtual machine, that is called standalone installation. Okay. So now you go back to the server. Now you see here. Okay. New SQL Server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. So I'm doing it for the first time, right? So we have to choose new SQL Server standalone installation. If it is cluster installation, you have to choose this option. Okay, so currently we have to, first time, right? So currently we have to choose this standalone installation. So just click on this standalone installation. Let's wait for a minute. It is opening actually. Not sure why the CPU is 100%. Because of that, the machine became slow. Here is the executable. Can we stop this? Just a minute. Don't worry. I'll tell you. I'm just checking any option to stop this service. Because of that, the server became slow. But you don't do these kind of things in the organization, okay? Don't stop any other Windows related services and all. Just to speed up, I'm just checking that option. That's it. Mm, 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 There is no option to stop this. Okay, so what we will do is let's restart the server, okay? Because if it is taking this much time, again the installation will be delayed, so it will create a lot of problems. We cannot complete in single session. Okay. So let me restart the server. So it is not yet live. I mean, we didn't assign this server to any other application as of now. So you can restart before installation of, okay, SQL Server. If there are no other SQL servers are there in that machine, you can restart, guys. No issues. No need to take any approvals. It's a new machine, right? So it was not live. Okay, so already some instances are running. Then you cannot restart whenever you want. Okay, you have to check what and all other instances are running. Instance means SQL Server. Okay, instance is nothing but SQL Server. I hope we discussed earlier. So instance is nothing but SQL Server. If any other SQL servers already, see, we can install multiple SQL servers in one Windows machine. Okay, so how many we can install? Interview question. We can install in one Windows machine, we can install 50 SQL servers. Okay, this is one Windows machine, right? In this machine, I can install 50 SQL servers. Maximum I can install 50 SQL servers. But Shanmukh, in the organization, how many will be there in the organization? Generally, one Windows machine, one SQL server only they will use. because it's not good to install multiple instances. One is performance. Second thing is like multiple instances will be connected to multiple applications, correct? So when they are connected to multiple applications, if you restart this Windows machine, all the SQL servers that are part of this Windows machine also will be restarted. So multiple applications will be down. If one server is down, multiple applications will be down. So that is the reason it's not recommended generally. But some organizations, maybe they will install two instances, three instances, max to max 4 5 instances you can see. So you don't see any machine with 50 instances. Microsoft gave a feasibility to install 50 instances in one machine, but in the organization, rare cases you can see up to 5. In regular cases, 60 to 70 percentage in one virtual machine, only one SQL server will be there. Okay, in one virtual machine, only one SQL server will be there. So very rare cases and all. Okay, you can see maybe 4 5 instances. Otherwise, hardly one. I mean to say regularly like one instance. Sometimes you can see 2 3 instances. That is also rare condition, but the 4 5 instances means very rare. You cannot see, okay, 4 5 instances in one Windows machine, because as I said, if you are keep increasing the instances, you are keep increasing the, okay, what is that? That downtime issue also. Like the applications also will be down if the single virtual machine is restarted or if it was shut down. Okay, I'm just connecting to the server again. Wait for 2 minutes, guys. It is taking time. Think we need to change the OS also. I don't have Windows 2022. Otherwise, I'll just check for the Windows 2022. Maybe we can change it. Not now, not now. Later, I'm just saying. Mm. Right. use any of these services in my local laptop. Any questions you have, guys? Parallelly, we can discuss maybe. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Sharmak, what is the version that we are going to install now?
SQL 2019, Vinay.
2019.
Yeah, 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll install the latest versions also, but slowly it will be like while doing the upgradation, we should have a lower version, right? So from lower
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
higher, how to upgrade? That's why I'm installing 2019 now.
Okay, Sharmak.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, go to this PC. Okay, so just open the same SQL setup file, and then you can see the setup file with run as administrator. Just click on this, and it will open the installation center. So in the installation center, as I said, you will have multiple options, multiple pages, right? So you will have like options page, like different pages here. Installation page will be there. So different pages will be there. So in that, what we have to do is like we have to go to the installation page. So from the installation page, generally what we will do is like we'll select the install SQL Server standalone installation. Okay. So as I said, if you are installing SQL Server on a single virtual machine, so we'll call that as a standalone installation. So from that you option, like you can choose that SQL Server standalone installation. So during the installation, it will ask for the editions. Okay. So anyhow, we have some time, right? Let's discuss about the editions. So editions generally, edition is nothing but limitations to the features, guys. Okay. Edition is nothing but limitations to the features. Okay. So that means, for example, like for example, if I want to purchase the Zoom licensing, okay, so how it will be, how the editions will be, Zoom pricing and all. Zoom is a meeting software, right? Zoom pricing, maybe for example, if I want to see. So if you see here in the Zoom pricing model, I'm just giving you an example how it will be. So that different models, guys. There is a free model, okay, correct? There is a free model, and then you can use pro model, you can use enterprise model. So these are all different models, right? Basic model, basic model is free, but there are a lot of limitations. Means when you are getting a product for free, definitely there will be some limitations, right? If you pay some amount like monthly, if you pay some 1150 rupees, okay, you will get some other options like the whatever, like for example, in the basic model, what will happen is, um, the the limit, the meeting time, okay, will be limited to 40 minutes only. So if it is more than 40 minutes, we cannot continue in the basic model. Okay, what will happen? Automatically it will be, what will happen, guys? Automatically the meeting will be cancelled. Okay, the meeting will be cancelled automatically. So like that, we have some limitations in the basic model. In the pro model, you can, okay, use the same single meeting up to 30 hours. Up to 30 hours, the single meeting can be up to 30 hours. If 30 hours is completed, again you can close it and you can open it again for 30 hours. So like that, when you are paying some amount, the features will be unlocked, depends on the amount that you are paying. So here generally in the pro model, only 11 participants, up to 100 participants can join. But if I am having like more than 100 participants, pro model is not suitable. Okay, I'll go for business model where it will support up to 300 model, the participants. So like that, in every, okay, software, there are some limitations based on the model that you are choosing. So that model we can call it as a edition. So in the SQL Server also we have different editions, guys. Okay, we have express edition, which is completely free. Okay, in the SQL Server we have express edition, and in the SQL Server licensing we have evaluation edition. Okay, and we have developer edition, editions in SQL Server. Okay, express, completely free, evaluation, evaluation edition. Okay, so this is also like free for 6 months, free for 6 months, and developer edition. So this is also completely free, and we'll have standard edition. Okay, so paid version, paid edition, and enterprise edition, highest edition. Okay, enterprise edition. This is the highest. There is no more other editions on top of this. Okay, this is also paid edition. So depends upon the model. that you are choosing depends upon your application. Okay, see, depends upon my class size, my requirement, I will choose Zoom pricing. So not everyone can go with the business model or enterprise model, right? So definitely if I want, if there is a requirement, if my participants are more than 100 people regularly, then I'll go with business model. Otherwise, I'll continue with this pro model only. If I have 2, 3 participants, why I have to pay money monthly, including GST, it will be around 1500 monthly we have to pay. So better I'll go with the free because 2, 3 participants only there. So we can maybe if it is connected, disconnected automatically after 40 minutes, again I'll ask them to reconnect, they will join, right? So in the same way, depends upon my requirement, we can choose the model, which tier, which edition. So in the same way, SQL Server also based on the application, whether it is a small or big or whatever it is, depends upon the application requirement. You can either choose standard edition or enterprise edition. These free editions, okay, these free editions, you cannot install it on the production servers. Remember, listen carefully. This is free, but as it is free, okay, you cannot install it on the production servers. Why? If you are installing on the production server the free editions, then who will buy the Microsoft product? Then how Microsoft will get the money? Then how it can invent the new products? It can introduce the new features. Okay, so the free licenses you cannot install it on the production server. Shanmukh, who will check all these things? Yes, Microsoft team will check. They will do auditing every year. They will come to the companies. They will run some PowerShell scripts. They will see what and all instances that you are running, where you are running, whether you are paying proper licensing or not. So if you are not paying proper licensing, then they will be penalized. I mean to say, okay, those who are not paying the money properly, and they will be penalized by Microsoft. Microsoft will challenge that legally. Okay, so this is also very important. So editions, free editions, you cannot install it on production servers. You can install it on free prod servers, non-prod servers. So this developer edition is also free from which version? Any idea? From which version the SQL Server developer edition is free? From SQL 2016 onwards, the developer edition is free. Up to 2014, you have to pay the amount for developer edition also. So it's actually a big move from the Microsoft. Microsoft is going to lose lot of amount because imagine for one production server, so 4 or 5 non-production servers will be there. Dev, test, QA. Okay, so like this 4 or 5 non-production servers will be there. So in the non-production servers, generally they use it to install this developer edition, but they just made this as a free. So in the non-prod means out of 4 or 5 copies, out of 5 servers, imagine for one application, imagine we have one production server for one application, one production server. So that one production server only Microsoft is taking the amount. Remaining all the non-prod servers, you will install developer edition. So developer edition, right, no need to pay any amount. You are getting my point, guys? So it is almost losing 4 or 5 licenses cost, and around each license will be around maybe 10 lakhs. Okay, in Indian currency it will be around 8 to 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, depends on the features that you are using. Also core based licensing model is there, user cal based licensing model is there. So different licensing models are there, guys. So up to 2016, SQL Server developer edition is free. From SQL Server 2016, developer edition is free. If it is before the previous versions, like before 2016, like 2014, 2012, if you want to install developer edition, you have to pay money. So their strategy is very simple. If lower environment is 2016, definitely higher environment also more than 2016. Okay, so lower environment, so testing you cannot do it in the 2016, and production you cannot be use 2012, right? So to upgrade the SQL servers, the previous latest version, I mean the whatever older versions are there, to upgrade it, they strategically introduced this free option. So when you upgrade your lower environment to 2016, definitely your higher environment production also you'll upgrade to 2016 or more than that. Okay, so that is the reason they just made it free, guys. So these are like paid editions. Standard edition you can use on production servers. Enterprise edition also you can use it on production server. The highest edition is enterprise edition, which is very costly, and standard edition is also like, okay, you have to pay the amount, but uh, some of the features it won't work in the standard edition properly. Okay, as I said, it will work like this model. Okay, so few features will work here, but there are some limitations, like only 100 participants, 30 hours meeting only. Here 300 participants, more than 30 hours. So you can see, so you are paying the money, but still not all the options are like unlimited. So there are some limitations. In the same way, standardization is also having some limitations in terms of database size, in terms of number of CPU cores, in terms of maximum memory. So standard edition, very few people will use standard edition. Okay, most of the people in the production, they will use enterprise edition only, guys. Most of the people, they will use in the enterprise edition. In the production, they will use enterprise edition only. So how to check, Shanmukh? Where to check, I'll tell you. Where to check which edition it is, I'll tell you. Okay, fine. Let's go back to the server now. So let me check whether, yeah, we got this installation page. And then what we can do is, still it is showing same 100% CPU. So as it is 100%, let me try clearing anything. If we can search option is there actually. Let me try killing this search option. Maybe it will reduce something like that. Okay. Right. Okay. Go to the installation page, and then you can just click on new SQL Server standalone installation. So if you want to see like what and all features maybe supported or not supported, you can just go to the Google. You can go to the Google. What you can do is like you can just simply type SQL Server Standard Edition versus Enterprise Edition. Just type it. You will get, okay, Microsoft link. You can see here editions and supported features. So you can see here, right? So you can see the limitations, guys. See, enterprise edition, there are different editions also. Web edition is there, express with advanced series services are there. So there are different like cloud-based editions also there. Okay, but generally in use, mostly you will see in the non-prod developer edition, you will see in the prod either standard edition or enterprise edition, you will see, guys. Okay, you just remember only these three main editions. In the non-prod, you will see developer edition. Okay, in the production you will see either standard edition or enterprise edition, depends upon their application size. They are going to use either standard or enterprise edition. So see here, so in the enterprise edition, so if you go to the maximum memory, okay, maximum memory, see, enterprise edition, there is no limitation. Okay, it will support up to operating system maximum, whereas standard edition will support only 128 GB. Okay, so like that, if you see here, maximum memory utilized per instance, see, maximum memory utilized per instance, in the enterprise edition, there is no limit, operating system maximum, whereas in the standard edition, you see 16 GB. Okay, so like that it will be, so depends on the storage also, depends on the storage. Okay, so whereas in the maximum relational database, it is like 524 petabytes it will support. In the and standard also it will support 524, web also it will support 524, in other editions it will support 10 GB, 10 GB. So like that you can see some of the features, even CPU cores also. See, CPU cores, maximum compute capacity. Okay, so in the enterprise edition it will use operating system maximum, whereas standard edition it will lock up to 24 cores only. See, like this, 24 cores. So there are a lot of limitations between your standard edition and enterprise edition. So generally, if the application is small and you don't want to use all the features completely, then you can choose, okay, maybe standard edition. Or if your application is big or medium scale, better to unlock all the features, you can choose enterprise edition, guys. So now you see here, once I open that particular, okay, what is that installation, when I click on the new SQL Server standalone installation, you will get this screen, product key. This is actually a developer edition. Other than this developer, if you want to install Express or Evaluation in, you can choose any of the free edition. Developer is free, Express is free, Evaluation is free. So you can choose any of the free edition. Nowadays, as developer, all the features developer is almost equals to enterprise edition, guys. But the only challenge, developer is free, so you cannot install it on the production servers. So developer and enterprise both are same in features wise. So, but developer you have to use only for lower environment. So no one, after developer is free, no one is using Express and Evaluation edition. So make sure you choose developer edition. If it is a product, I mean, paid edition, either standard or enterprise, then you will select this option. You will give the key here, or automatically the key will be populated here. If it is a paid edition, automatically the key will be populated here. If you want to install either standard or enterprise, so select this option, automatically key will be populated, and then you can go to next. If you want to install a free edition, select this option and go to next. Right? So for every software, we will choose this option. I accept the license terms, select it and go to next. So now what it will do before installing the SQL Server, it will do some checks. These are called global rules. Okay. It will just check it whether this machine is suitable to install the SQL Server or not. It will check. Okay. Using by running these global rules. If any of this rule is failed, for example, imagine the restart computer check is failed. Okay. Now you see 8 checks are there. See, either 8 should be passed or warning also fine or skipped also fine. Out of 8, if one check is also failed, you cannot see the next button. Okay, so either all should be passed or warning or skipped is fine. But out of 8, even though if one check is failed, you cannot see the next button. So next button will be grayed out. That means you cannot proceed to install. So for example, if restart computer check is failed, you can see here red mark. Okay, instead of green, you can see red mark here. Instead of passed, you can see failed here. So if the restart computer check is failed, what you will do, guys? Simply, you will cancel all the windows. You will simply restart the server and again you will reopen the setup file and all. So like that you have to check, guys. Okay. So now go to next. So here you can see the next page, what and all next updates you can see here in this particular section. So the next one is Microsoft update. As I said, it will try to take the latest updates for this 2019, but from where it will take? From the internet. But do you think there will be an internet access to the servers? No. So we can skip this option, simply go to next. Right, now it is installing some setup files, guys. Now it is installing some setup files. Yeah, it is opening, guys. Right, okay. So yeah. So like this it will open. Now again it will run some rules. Okay, initial rules and all it will run. Like last time we have seen, right, global rules. In the same way it will run some rules, and then as I said, the same thing, same case will be applied. Passed is fine, warning is also fine, skipped is also fine. But if it is failed, if any of the check is failed, okay, you cannot continue. So you have to check what went wrong and all. Okay, based on that you can troubleshoot. Now let's go to next. Okay, so now in this section you can see feature selection. So SQL Server is actually a bundle of package, guys. SQL Server is actually a bundle of package. So in that you can choose what and all packages you want. Again, SQL Server can be used to store the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data. Apart from that, you can also use to integrate the data from different sources. Like for example, you want to integrate the data from Excel sheet to SQL Server, you can integrate. From Oracle to SQL Server, you can integrate. From other DB server to this SQL Server, you can integrate. From SQL Server to other DB server, you can integrate. From SQL Server to other tools like Excel sheets, notepads and all, you can do that. So for integration purpose also you can use using SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services. Okay, you can see here integration services. Apart from the data storing, processing and retrieving, you can also use it for integration purpose and all, data integration with the different sources you can integrate. And you can also analyze the data using SQL Server analysis services. Okay, this one you can see analysis services. So you can also analyze the data using SQL Server analysis services. So if you want analysis services, you can select this option. Again, I am saying this is a bundle of package. These are all the features that Microsoft will provide. That doesn't mean you can select all the features. How much you want, that much only you have to select. Based on your requirement, you can select the features. If you select all the features, no problem, but your company will pay extra money. Each feature, like there will be a separate pricing. As per the feature, your licensing will be decided. So if you select all the features, again you have to pay extra money to the Microsoft. So if you need, then you can choose the features. Okay, so don't think as these many features are there, I can select all these features. No, not required. My purpose is I want to store, process and retrieve the data. For that, I can use this database engine. Okay, that is enough for me. Okay, replication is one of the advanced features. So it will use to replicate the data to different databases, other secondary servers and all. And for searching the data, I will use full text. To search the data, I will use full text feature. So these are the main three features that we will use to install for every SQL server. Other than that, if you want to use it for machine learning purpose like R or Python or Java, you can choose these features. And if you want to use the SQL Server for analysis services, you can install the analysis services. And you can also use the SQL services for reporting purpose. Okay, if you want to use SQL Server for reporting purpose, then you have to install SSRS, SSIS, SSAS, SSRS, integration services, analysis services, reporting services. These are the extra features. They don't use it in all the projects. Some projects will have these features also, like SSIS. Sometimes that's why sometimes when you are a DBA, in the job description all you can see you should have knowledge on SSIS, SSRS, SSAS and all. But it's not for all the projects. Okay, out of 10 projects, maybe or out of 20 projects, maybe one or two projects they will ask SSIS, knowledge on SSIS, knowledge on SSRS, SSAS and all. Okay, so that is how it will be managed, guys. Okay, so these SSIS, RSAS comes under BI, Business Intelligence Development Studio, BIDS, Business Intelligence Development Studio. So we don't want. So in case if you want, they will mention in the build sheet. As per the build sheet, if they want SSIS, you can select SSIS. If they want SSRS, you can directly download it separately. Earlier, before this version, earlier in previous versions, there is one more check called reporting services also in the feature section. But later they separated the reporting feature, so you have to download it separately, the reporting services and all, and you have to install it. Okay. So now for our main purpose, for storing the data, processing the data, retrieving the data, we need these three main features. And if you see the screen is separated into two parts. One is specific features. Okay. So let me open this. Let me go back to the server. Right. So now if you see here, this part in the feature section, this part is like a specific features. Okay, this part is specific features. And the below part, you can see it's a shared features. Okay, below part is a shared features. So if you want shared features, you can choose the shared features. I'll tell you what is the shared features and all. So imagine, let's go with this example. Okay. For example, when you are staying in a PG, what and all specific things that you will carry, what and all shared things that PG people will provide, guys? Tell me. What specific things that you will carry with you when you are staying in a PG? What specific things you will carry, guys, when you are staying in a PG? Guys, if you are not responding, I don't ask questions.
Uh,
I'll simply proceed without asking the questions.
Personal laptop.
Personal laptop, very good. Your mobile phone is your specific thing. Your dresses, whatever clothes are there, okay, your utensils, whatever it is, like those are all your personal things. Those are like specific things. Shared things, what PG people will provide?
Electric things.
Very good. They will provide fan or AC or refrigerator, washing machine, okay, Wi-Fi. These are all the shared features. So when you are joining into the PG, for every student they will provide a new refrigerator, new fan, like new things. Is it how it will work? No, right? So in the floor, whatever, maybe they will provide one fridge for one floor. Okay, so you have to use, all the people has to use the same fridge. All the people has to use that two or three washing machines. Okay, they will provide, and all the PG people has to use the same washing machines. Correct? So they don't give extra washing machine for you, extra fridge for you, right? These are all shared features. So shared features will exist only once for the Windows machine. As I said, I can install how many instances in one Windows machine, guys? How many instances I can install one Windows machine? 50, right? Means a Windows server is a PG which can accommodate 50 students. Clear? A Windows machine is a PG which can accommodate 50 students. So 50 students, if you want to install like all 50 students will have their own mobile phone, their own laptop, their own, okay, personal things, clothes and all, right? Dresses and all. These are the specific things. So a new person is coming means he will carry his own laptop, his own personal mobile, and then the things, whatever personal things are there, those are specific features. But the shared features, the washing machine is only one copy for the 50 instances. The refrigerator is also one copy. Only once the PG people will install this refrigerator or washing machine. Of course, for 50 people means only one copy will get it, not two, three copies. If it is more than 50, maybe two, three copies they will install. But shared features will exist only one copy for the whole Windows machine. Are you getting the point, guys? Specific features, per instance, we will select these three features. But shared features, only once we will select the shared features. First time only we will install the shared features. Next time no need to install because they already installed. They are going to be utilized by other instances, the specific features. Is it clear, guys, now difference between specific and shared? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so if it is not clear, simple point. Shade features will exist only for the first time. No need to install shade features every time. You will see that. Okay, I'll show you. Simply it will be grayed out. It won't allow you to install multiple times if you already installed. Whereas shade features, specific features, this is specific feature, right? Instance specific features. So if you are installing first instance, you will select these three. Second instance, again you will select these three. Third instance, again you will select these three. But all three instances will use these existing shade features. Clear now? Are we good on this? Instance specific features, shared features, everyone. So they will ask you in the interview like what and all specific features that you will select during the installation. Database engine is main heart of the SQL server. Heart, brain, whatever important organ is there in our body, you can consider this database engine. Like how car engine is important to car, database engine is important to the database. Without database engine, it cannot store, it cannot process, and it cannot retrieve. And replication is one of the feature, and full text also will help you to search the data. So for every instance, we'll choose these three specific features. And from shared side, we will choose client tools connectivity. Okay, where and all you can see client, you can select client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. These four specific features, shared features we will install for the first time. Next time when you are installing a second copy of SQL Server, these four will be degraded. Okay, you cannot even select also. Clear, guys? Only these four specific I'm sorry, only these four shade features will install from the shade feature side, and specific feature side will choose these three specific features. Clear? Now are we good? Right. Okay, so
Yes.
if we are good,
Sir,
let's go to next. Yes, please.
if we select all features, what happen?
That's what, like you have to pay extra money without using. It's like you are unnecessarily installing, so there will be a lot of burden on the server. See, if you select a feature means don't think only the feature will be installed. The backend processes also will run in the server. So unnecessarily there will be a burden on the server first thing, and you have to pay extra money for the feature. Even though you are using or not using, you have to still pay the money.
Okay, but this is developer edition, na? It's completely free.
No, that's what. That's okay. See, you can carry 50 kgs of weight, your capacity. As you can carry 50 kgs of weight every day, every minute you will carry 50 kgs of weight.
No.
No, right? In the same way, it is free. But why we have to unnecessarily put burden on the server?
Yes. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So the next is instance. Okay, configuration. So this will be covered. Okay, after the break. Take a break. Come back after 15 minutes, and we'll cover these things, guys. Okay. Yeah, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay, so let's go back to the server. Right. Now, this is your instance configuration, guys. Okay, this is your instance configuration. And if you see here, okay, generally, as I said, instance is nothing but one SQL Server software copy. Okay, instance is nothing but, okay, one SQL Server software copy is called one instance. Okay, like that we can install 50 instances in a machine. Machine means your Windows server. Okay, we can install 50 instances in a machine. So out of this 50 instances, actually there are two types of instances. Two types of instances, guys. Okay, and listen to me, it is very important. During the installation, we will discuss all the advanced related things. So it is very common that you might feel, okay, a little burden on that, like lot of terminologies we'll discuss, right? So you might feel little burden on that. It's actually not, okay, because all these technologies are new to you, right? So you might feel something like, okay, overburden kind of thing, but believe me, we can easily install, okay, but just you should know all the options, that's it. So for that purpose we are explaining, we are dealing every option. That doesn't mean, okay, So don't think like installation itself is an ocean, nothing like that. Okay, so you can easily manage next SQL Server also next install only you can do that. But every option you have to understand. That's it, what it is doing and all. So there are two types of instances. One is default instance, okay, and second one is named instance. So as I said, we can install 50 instances in one Windows machine. So that means 50 default and 50 named? No, not at all. Okay. So it will be like this 1 plus 49 instances. Okay. 1 plus 49 instances. What is this one? One default instance we can install and remaining 49 are named instances only we can install. Is it clear, guys? This is an interview question. So how many instances we can install in a machine? 50. In that 50, how many default, how many named? One default instance for the whole Windows machine and 49 named instances. Is it clear now? Any questions, doubts? So what is the difference between these two? Functionality wise, both are same. There is no big difference, guys. But what is the difference? Only naming wise, naming convention. Default instance will use computer name to connect. Okay, computer name to connect. Whereas named instance, you have to name the instance. Okay, you have to give the name. You have to give the name separately. So for named instance name, there are some criteria. Okay, named instance. Okay, so you have to consider the below points while naming an instance. One is you cannot give more than 16 characters. Instance name cannot be more than 16 characters. Okay, 16 characters. It don't allow any, okay, what is that called? Special characters. It don't allow any special characters in the name other than dollar and underscore. Okay, other than these two special characters, it don't allow any other special characters in name, in the instance name, guys. Okay, so these two are, and instance name cannot start with numbers. Okay, cannot start with numbers. Instance name cannot start with numbers. Numbers can come in the instance name, but it cannot start with numbers. Okay, so now if you see here how to choose default or named instance, you can, if you want to install default instance, we can choose default instance. If you want to install named instance, you have to give the name. Here it will be unlocked and you have to give the name. As I said, you can give up to 16 characters. Okay, for example, batch 61 SQL server. Okay, SQL server 2019. See, I am not able to type. I am actually typing 2019, but it is not taking because it's already reached 16 characters. So that is the reason it is not allowing. Okay, so this is the limitation we have. So you can simply type, okay, maybe don't put that version number in the instance name. It's not good because in future maybe we can upgrade it. If you just mention SQL 2019, in future this instance can be upgraded to 2022. So again, who will change the server name, and also better don't just don't include the version number in the instance name. You can simply like batch 61 SQL. That's it. Okay, batch 61 SQL server or something like that. You can just mention like this. Okay, you cannot again start with numbers. It don't allow you. It don't allow you. In case if you want to start with allow, it don't allow you. Okay, you can put numbers in any of the place. And is it a correct server name, guys? For example, now I'm just removing this. Okay, now can you tell me, is it a correct server name? Is it a valid server name?
No,
Guess it. Why?
because of the space.
Very good. Okay, a space is there. Space is also a special character. Is it a valid server name?
No,
No, because
at the
at the rate is a special characters. It will not allow. This one, is it going to allow?
Yes.
Dollar. Okay, it will allow dollar. And this one,
yes.
yes, this is also valid server name. So you have to remember these points. So now imagine I'll install default server name. Okay, Shanmukh. You are installing, right? One more point I just want to highlight. Maybe no one asked this question. In the instance configuration, let me go back. I just selected in the, what is that, the feature selection screen. I just selected few features. So no one asked like, Shanmukh, can we add the features if you want later? For example, while installing, I forgot to install so and so feature. Can I add it later? The answer is yes. So if you see the option here in the installation center, new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. So even though you missed, or maybe today customers, they will tell like, we don't want SSIS. But tomorrow they might ask like, maybe after 1 year they can come back, hey, can you please install SSIS for the existing instance? So yes, you can also add the features whenever you want. Okay. So that is the reason it is like a new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to existing installation. For both, you have to select this option only. Okay, so while adding, imagine already instance is up and running, so you can open the setup file, you can click on this option. Next time if you want to add a new feature, you will click on this option, you will select that feature what you want to add, and then you will just proceed. So in that way you can add. In the same way, I installed default instance, guys. Later I want to change it to named instance. Is it possible? Or vice versa, is it possible? I installed a named instance, I want to change it to default instance. Is it possible? Yes or no? Just type your answers in the chat. Quickly, we don't have time. Okay. So what about others, guys? For yes or no, we don't need a subject, right? I'm just asking a response. Maybe yes, maybe no, or you can use inky pinky ponky, yes and no. Anything is fine. Okay, so got responses from Suraj, Bhagyashri, and Nihar. Okay, fine. Right, so good. And the answer is no. Okay, no, we cannot change it later. So if you want to install default, you will install default. Later I want to change this default to named instance, it don't allow you, or name it to default, it don't allow you. Okay, so again you can install a separate copy and then you can name it accordingly. So I am installing default instance. It's not mandatory for the first time you have to install default instance only. First time also you can install named instance, or first time also you can install default instance. Anything you can install for the first time. And in the below section, you can see any previous instances already installed in this machine. So as this is a new machine, there are no previous instances installed in this machine. It is showing empty. Next time when I want to, now this time I'm installing, right? Second time if I want to install another copy, I can see the details, what instance installed, what is the version, what is the name of the instance, what is the instance ID, edition, which edition it is, which version it is, everything I can see in the table. So currently there are no instances, that's why it is showing empty. Now let's go to next. Right, okay. So now this is comes under like service account, okay. This is the service account. So what is service account? I'll explain briefly, okay. Listen carefully. What is service account? I'll explain. So now you know that SQL Server will be used to store the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data, correct? Imagine this is my Windows machine. Okay, this is my Windows machine. Okay. Inside the Windows machine, I have the SQL Server. This is the SQL Server, right? And inside the SQL Server, I have the database. Database. So this is my database inside the SQL Server. So how I'll get the data? So application will be there. application will be attached for each and every database server. So from the application, we will generally get the data. Imagine this is my application, and this application is connected to this database. Okay, this application is connected to this database. Right. Okay. So this is the application. What is the application name? Anything. You can just call it as maybe Amazon.com. Okay. Amazon.in. This is the application. So now the users are connected to the application. Maybe this user, these two users are connected, and they are just doing some shopping. So they will place an order, right? That means a transaction will be created for their order, and the transaction will be inserted into the database. Imagine these two are the users. They connected to the Amazon.in and they are placing some orders. So once they placed an order, so the transaction will comes to the database. Okay, the transaction will comes to the database. Imagine this is the transaction. So they will open the website Amazon.in and he want to buy maybe one mobile phone. So he will connect to the Amazon.in. He will place an order iPhone, and then that transaction will be created and then it will go to the database. Okay, this is the transaction. Now database means what? What is the meaning of database? It's the storage area, we can say it's a logical storage area where we can store the data. Correct? The data will be stored. But actually database is nothing but it's a collection of data file and log file. Database is nothing but collection of data file and log file, guys. So now imagine this is your log file. How the data will go, let me tell you. Okay, this is your log file, and maybe we can go, this is the data file. We can just go to this one. Listen carefully, it's easy only, guys. Again, I don't want you to confuse. Okay, it is easy only, just try to concentrate, that's it. G. Okay, so now listen carefully. Again, I'm saying, so the data, what and all data is coming from the application. First, it will goes to the log file. Okay, first it will goes to the log file. So in the log file, it will be stored temporarily, and then it will be written to the data file. So which will be stored in the data file permanently. So who will write the data? Someone should write the data, right, to the disk. So these two files will be there in the disk only. Okay, the data file, log file. Generally, these two files will be stored in the disk only. Disk means your drive. Okay, log file. This is your log file or transaction log file, which will store the transactions. Transaction log file or log file, both are same. Okay, this is your log file. So remember this point. Every transaction should goes to a log file first, transaction log file first. Then depends upon the state whether it is a committed. Okay, I'll tell you what is this committed and all, don't worry. Okay, for example, this is, see, this guy is doing say transaction, guys. Imagine customer name is something like maybe you can go with the Suresh, something like that. Okay, customer name is, customer ID is something like this, comma, insert. I'm just giving a sample script, don't worry. Insert into orders values. Okay, insert into table name values. This is like a insert script. When they place an order, this kind of script will be generated. Okay, table name values, right, something like this, maybe customer ID something like this, comma, customer name something Suresh, comma, product he ordered iPhone 17. Okay, comma, maybe cost around 1.5 lakhs. Okay, 1.5 lakhs, and address Bangalore. Imagine. Okay, this is the record. Okay, it will be generated, guys. This is the record, it will be generated. So once he placed an order in the Amazon site, So this transaction, this is called a transaction. Listen carefully, it's a transaction. This transaction will comes from this application to the data file, to the database. Database means it's actually a collection of data file and log file. So always transaction first it will goes to log file and then it will go to the data file finally. Okay, again I'll explain all these things. But who will write data to the log file? Who will write data to the data file? Means disk. This log file and data file will be stored in the disk, the drive. So who will write this data to the drives, guys? Who will write? Any idea who will write?
Service account.
Very good. A service account will write the data to the disk. Okay, so service account is very important. So service account will always help you to write the data to the disk. Log file will be in one drive, data file will be in another drive. So who is going to write the data continuously to log file and the data file? Your service account. So this is the service account definition. Is it clear, guys? Service account. So then only once the transaction or data is written to the, okay, data file and log file, then only it will be stored temporarily or permanently. It depends on the transaction. Either it depends on committed and uncommitted transactions and all. So that is the role of the service account. So service account is very important, guys. Clear now? Any questions, doubts? Or else if it is not clear, very simple way I'll tell you. Whatever data is coming from the application to the database, okay, it has to be written to the disk. So service account will help to write the data to the disk. It will log into the drive, it will log into the folders, and then it will open the file and it will write the data. Service account is also a user account like us. Like how we are logged into the server, service account is also is like a user account. But the specialty is, instead of my account, see what is the problem? I can also give my account as a service account. But what is the problem? If I left the organization, my account will be deleted. Correct? If I changed my organization, my account will be deleted. So who will be there to write the data, to read the data? So that's why we need one permanent account to write and read the data. That permanent account is called service account, guys. Is it clear now, everyone?
Yes.
Shanmugh,
Yes,
like
yes, right.
first the transaction is coming from application to database,
Correct.
and then database to log file. So like
Database in the sense is a log file and data file. Data file is just a logical container. There is
okay,
no, physically, there is no concept of database. It's a logical boundary only. So how it will be managed? For every database, this log file will be there, data file will be there. Combination of log file and data file is called a database. So first it will goes to log file. Then based on the committed or uncommitted, it will goes to data file.
and what will be stored in log file
Transactions,
first?
this one. Okay, he ordered, right? Where is the transaction we have? Yeah. This transaction will be stored in the log file. I'll tell you, I'll explain again. Okay, just this is just a basic. I don't want to go deeply. In the next class, maybe next two classes, I'll explain how this will be managed and all. But service account is an account which will help you to run the service. So on behalf of SQL Server, the service account will log into the drives. It will read the data and write the data. Just for that purpose only, you remember temporarily. Okay, later we'll do a kind of little deep dive once we are comfortable. Okay.
Like why we are storing the like
I'll tell
temporarily?
you, I'll tell you why we are storing temporarily, what is the need and all, I'll tell you. To manage the acid properties, atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability, so we have to manage it temporarily until it is going to be moved to the data file. Okay, so I'll tell you all these things, but someone should be there to write the data to the disk and to read the data from the disk. That someone is called service account. Okay, why
Yeah.
we have log
Yeah.
file, why we have data file, I'll explain again later. But as of now, that someone who is going to read and write the data from the disk to the disk, that account is called a service account. Clear, guys?
So on high level, just we are passing the data from application to a database, right?
Yes, this will be an automatic mechanism. Nothing we will do. Just to understand. because millions of transactions will come in a minute. So who will write? So you will not write, I will not write, right? Someone should be there to write. So it's like an account which will help to copy the data from the application to the drive. That account you can call it as a service account. Clear, guys? Any questions, doubts about service account?
Do we create and manage the service account?
Yes,
Okay.
we will only create and manage. Generally, it's actually a good question, Akash. So initially, we will get the default service accounts. Even though you are not giving any customized account, still SQL Server will give you a default accounts. So these are all the default accounts. See here, I didn't give any service account, but SQL Server will itself will give the default account. But what is the challenge with this service account? Everyone will use the same default account. So performance wise, it's not good. I have my own customized maids for me, the customized assistants for me. So I can create my own service account to manage the data. Okay, reading and writing. Otherwise, SQL Server will give you default service accounts.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, service account, is it clear? Service account is an account which will help you to read the data and write the data from the disk to the disk. Clear now? Any questions, doubts from the service account side? So there are different types of service accounts: customized service accounts, virtual service accounts, default service accounts. So these are all called virtual service accounts. SQL Server will automatically will give the service account. So maybe in the next class or next to next class, I'll tell you how to create a customized service account, how to change the service account, what is the impact, when we can change it. Okay, all these things will be discussed. So you should know we can change the service account. Okay, now you can install with the default accounts. Later, if you want to change it, you can change it. But only challenge is you have to restart the SQL Server, which is a downtime activity. Okay, so how to change also you should know. So later I'll tell you how to create a custom account, how to make that account as a service account. Okay, I'll explain all these things. Okay. Initially, I just have to limit the content, guys. Otherwise, you people will feel like some of you can understand, some of you feel like it's like a overburden kind of thing. So that is the reason. Slowly, it will be unlocked at every stage. Okay. Is it clear, service account?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So these are all the 4 service accounts. For agent, 1 account; for database engine, 1 account; and for SQL full text and browser. These 4 services, every service will have a service account. So 4 services, generally you can see 4 service accounts. So these 2 you cannot change it by default, and these 2 you can change: agent and the database engine you can change. How to change and all I'll tell you in the next class. So as of now, I'm installing the default service accounts. Okay. Now the next one is collation settings. Collation means language settings. What kind of language you are going to insert in the databases is called collation settings. What kind of language? Like if you see, if you open a notepad, or you can see a Word document, you can see different formats, right? Vardhana, Calibri, Times New Roman, different this one will fonts will be there, right? In the same way. So what kind of this collation is actually a language settings. Whether you want to insert English data, English related, or you want to insert Chinese data, or like any other Japanese data, or French data, means in your, say for example, there are some news websites you can see in your local language. So how you are able to see in the local language? Because they are storing the data in the language settings. In the language, they are selecting Telugu or Hindi or Marathi or whatever it is. Okay. So that is the reason. In the same way, in the database you are storing, right? So in what language you can store? You want English or French or Chinese? So depends upon the language, you can choose the collation settings. So if you want to choose Chinese data, you can choose any of these Chinese collation settings. Okay. If you want to choose French data, if you want to store the French data, if you want to manage your data in French language, you can choose French language settings. So collation is nothing but a language settings. By default, we will use this collation settings. Interview question. So what is the default collation settings? SQL, Latin 1, General, CP1, CIAS. Okay, default collation settings. Default collation settings. SQL Latin 1 General, CP1 CIAS. Latin means Latin language, you know, right? How Indian languages came from Sanskrit. All English languages are from Latin language. Okay, so Latin 1 General, CP1 means code page 1, CI case insensitive, AS accent sensitive. Okay, so this is the default collation settings that we will get it. 95 percentage we will use the same collation settings in all the projects. If a custom collation, if customer is asking I need Chinese language, you can simply customize it from this button. If customer is asking I need French language, you can customize it. Okay, so like that you can able to select the collation settings. So let's go to next.
After setting this correlation, like when if we need to change, like
No,
can we
very
change?
good question. Very good question. So collation settings we cannot change. Directly there is no option. Okay, directly there is an option like to change the binaries and all, but it's not safe. But directly it's not a setting to change. So if you want to change it smoothly without having issues, again you have to migrate. You have to install a new SQL Server with the new collation settings, and from the old SQL Server to new SQL Server you have to backup and restore. Okay, so there is no direct option to change the collation settings. So this is the main screen. Okay, so server configuration, who can connect to the SQL Server? Now you are installing, chalo fine, no issues, but who can connect? Everyone can connect. Then where is the security? No, we don't allow. So you have to inform at this stage who can connect to the SQL Server. So initially you will add one person. Okay, add current user. So who logged into this machine? Administrator, right? So administrator will get the access to the SQL Server. Okay, you can see the username administrator. So when I click on current user administrator, it will create an account for this administrator user in the SQL Server. Then only administrator can connect to the SQL Server. Okay, if you want to add your team members, you can click on the add button and you can give their team name, group name, person name, ID. Okay, anything you can give here. This also will be discussed how to give and all during the future sessions. If you want to remove any, but you should add at least one account, otherwise it don't allow you to proceed next. Someone should be there to give permissions to others. This is like initial permissions. Once he got the access, he can give access to others, right? So if you don't have access itself, how you can give access to others? So that is the reason in this screen, in the server configuration authentication screen, you have to add at least one account. So later you can connect to the SQL Server using that account and you can give access to others. Or you can also give at this stage, you can give to your DBA team because you are not installing it for your purpose. The whole DBA team able to access. So this I'll tell you in future. We'll create a DBA group and I'll add them, service account I'll add them. So later I'll tell you all these things. Authentication, what is meant by authentication? How many types of authentications are there will be discussed completely in the security concept. So don't worry. Windows authentication, SQL authentication, everything I'll explain in the security sessions. So at this moment, it's too early to discuss the authentication. Next, where you want to store the data, in which drive? Okay, as of now, I have only C drive in the server, so I'll select everything in the C drive. TempDB, what is TempDB? What is MaxDOP? What is memory settings, file stream? All these things will come under advanced sessions. So in the advanced course, we will discuss all these things. File stream is nothing but it's a, for example, you want to store video related content. Blob, binary large objects like high resolution photos, high resolution videos, like you know, right? Netflix, Amazon, not Amazon, this one, what is that? YouTube. So there are different streaming sites are there, right? So for that purpose, if you want to store video content, then you can enable file stream. Okay, streaming websites will use this file stream option. Okay, guys. So as of now, we are not using any file stream and all. That's it. This is the final screen. So we are at the end of the installation. Listen carefully now. Very simple. So now we have selected few options. Okay, few features and few accounts we gave. Service account we gave. Default or named instance we selected. Okay, we have selected few features, right? Database engine, full text, replication, and from the shared features also we have selected client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, SQL client connectivity, SQL client SDK, and authentication, we have added one current user, we have added the authentication, we gave some service accounts details. And what else? We have selected a path where to install the SQL Server. So all these things we have selected. But listen carefully. SQL Server, okay, what it will do is this window, especially this setup window, what it will do is it will create a query for your actions. Okay, because Windows machine don't understand the GUI mode. Windows machine, it knows only command based. If you want to refresh a computer, right click refresh. You don't know what is the command to refresh, but we can easily right click and refresh. If you want to copy a file, we can right click and we can copy the file. But actually, when you are selecting, right clicking on it and you are selecting an option, this window is converting your action into a command. That command is firing on the Windows operating system. Is it clear, guys? So in the same way, when you are installing SQL Server, you selected lot of options, right, using this window. Now this window will convert your actions into the command. That command will be stored in one file called configurationfile.ini. Okay, in this path, the command will be stored. When I click on install, this file will be pulled by Windows operating system, and it will check what and all inputs are there in this file. It will check the command. Means simply this window is creating a command for the installation, guys. That's it. Because Windows don't understand the GUI language. We don't know what is the command to install SQL Server. This GUI interface will help you to convert your actions into the command. So that command where it will store in this file, configurationfile.ini, it will store. Is it clear, guys, everyone? Not only SQL Server, everything you are copy pasting, right? Right click copy, right click paste, you are doing, right? Actually, you are building a command. So don't think right when you are right click on copy, it is copying. When you select right click copy, it is creating a command to copy. When you select right click paste, it is creating a command to paste and it is executing. Clear now? So this is the command. I'll show you what will be there inside this file. What is the command, how the command look like and all. So the inputs will be stored in the configuration file.ini. And once I click install button, it will take that file as per the file inputs. Your Windows operating system will install the SQL Server, guys. That is all about the SQL installation. So for the first time, it will take 10 to 15 minutes to install completely. Next time onwards, shared features will be already installed, right? Only for the first time, it will install specific features and shared features. Next time, shared features are already installed. Only once per Windows machine will install shared features, right? Next time when you are installing a second SQL Server copy, it will install only specific features. So next time it will be installed quickly, whereas first time it will take some extra time. So any questions, doubts, guys? Again, just go through it. Don't worry at all. Okay, this session will be uploaded. So nothing to worry. Simply just, okay, once your like breakfast and all completed, just fresh up, then just go through the recording. Okay, just to try it. When you are keep practicing, it is very easy. If you just go back and see the recording, I didn't means in the installation side, nothing I did. Okay, I just explained every option. So I just selected a few options. That's it. Okay, so very easy. SQL installation is very easy. But you should understand because you will get some interview questions, right? So that's why I explained everything. Any questions, doubts? Go through it once. Maybe you will get, maybe if you are not getting now, you might get later while practicing, but still you can ask, okay? In the class, guys, if you have any questions and all.
Shanmugh, in the last that configuration file, like
Yeah.
what what we are doing exactly, like what is happening?
Nothing. See, whatever inputs we have selected, okay, so that will be stored like we have selected some instance specific features, some shared features. We have selected default instance or named instance. We have given some service accounts, okay, and we gave the path where it has to be installed, and we gave the collation settings. So what and all inputs we have selected, so all these inputs will be stored in one file called configuration file.ini. So when you click on install button, your Windows will go to that path. It will take that configuration file and it will see all the inputs that we have selected. Based on the inputs, it will install the SQL Server.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And if there is any error or anything while
I'll tell you.
installation,
I'll tell you. That will be the next class. Okay, how to troubleshoot the installation related errors and all.
no, like do we need to start it from first step, or
No, depends on the type of error. It's not like in every case the same situation, right? So what type of error it is based on that. In the troubleshooting, we will discuss.
okay.
Sir, today I am installing all things. So first I have to install VMware, then Windows SQL Server, and then
No.
SQL.
Don't mix it. What Windows SQL Server we have? Windows Server.
No. In my laptop I am installing today.
That's what Windows Server you have to install. Windows SQL, there is no Windows SQL, okay? First, install the Oracle VirtualBox. Step 1. Step 2,
Hmm?
create a virtual machine. Step
Hmm.
3, install the Windows Server operating system. And step
Hmm.
4, install the .NET framework. And step 5, finally, you can install the SQL Server.
.NET framework. Okay.
Yeah. So can I install the SQL instance parallelly? One instance is already running, right? Can I install one more instance? Is it going to allow? Just a try. Yes or no?
No, because we will not get the first screen.
Okay. What about others? Parallelly, can I install one more SQL instance as it's already in progress? Just try it, guys. What is there in that? Okay, yes or no? That's it.
No, I guess.
No,
Shanmugam.
no, Shanmugh.
Okay. Right. Okay. So let me go back to this installation center. Okay. So you can see, right, when I clicked on new SQL Server installation, this was grayed out until, okay, you are going to either install it completely or you are going to cancel this installation. So this is currently in progress, right? Either you cancel or it should be completed successfully. Until then, this new SQL will not comes into a blue color. When it comes into blue color, then only I can select. See, now it was grayed out. I cannot select. So if one installation is in progress, I cannot install another instance of installation, guys. Okay. So now my question is, this is 2019 setup file, right? I'll copy 2022 setup file and can I open and can I install 2022? Another version of SQL Server can I install parallelly? So same version, okay, we cannot install, okay, because it will be grayed out until the installation is going to be completed or cancelled. But another version will have again installation center, right? 2022, I'll open 2022 installation center. I can see that option. So can I install? Just check it once. Okay, that is the assignment that I'm giving it to you. Just check it in the Google and let me know the answer. Right. Okay. So you can see, guys, so how to validate whether installation is successful or not. Okay. So here at the end of the installation, you can see the success screen. Okay. It will tell you install successful, one thing. And here also you can see all the components are successfully installed. Whatever components you have selected, all are successfully installed. You can see here succeeded, succeeded, succeeded. You don't see any failed, okay, option here. Okay, so all the instance, all the features are successfully installed. So in this way you can able to, okay, validate the installation is successful. If something went wrong, any of the features will be failed to install. Like for example, if there is an issue, database engine will be failed and it will show you failed, and here also it will show you red mark, red cross mark. So in that way you can able to identify, and here it will show you installation unsuccessful. Okay, so it is how it will be. You have to validate whether all the components are successfully installed or not with this last screen. And once done, finally, okay, you can able to close this. So in this way you can able to install the SQL Server. So that's it for now. Okay, so please try to install the SQL Server. So what I'll do is generally for every 6-7 classes, okay, if we discuss more, I'll give you one class. Okay, I'll give you a break. Means, so next class we don't have it in the evening because we discussed a lot, right? So I hope most of you aren't yet started the practice. So in the evening class, okay, try completing the installation, which is very important. So again, we'll connect, okay, the next class, like which will be next Saturday morning, 7 a.m. IST. So in the evening, we don't have class, and that is only for the practice purpose, not like as it is Sunday, we can go out and all. That is okay. You can go out, but again, just spend some time, okay, to install the SQL. Complete the installation by next Friday, guys. Okay, so this is how it will be. Any questions, doubts so far?
Today we don't have class?
Today evening, we don't have class.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so it's a kind of a preparation break. So you just use it and just try to complete the installation today itself, because tomorrow, like we have 4-5 days, but installation we discuss it right today. If you start practicing, means you will be like almost the concepts like today only we discuss it, right? So you will be close to it. Again tomorrow, day after tomorrow and all, again you will forget what we discussed. So just try to complete the installation by today EOD. Okay, so once done, just ping me in the WhatsApp that installation is completed. Just ping me with the screenshot, guys, in the WhatsApp. Okay, installation succeeded screenshot, the last screenshot, just ping me in the WhatsApp. So with that note, okay, we can drop off for now. Okay, we'll again connect in the next Saturday morning, 7 a.m. IST for US people. Next Friday evening, 8:30 p.m. EST. Okay, yeah. So if no questions, that's it, guys. Thank you all. Good night, good day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.